How's it
music,
going?
shall we? All right, is everybody good to go?
What dice should I use today?
Your worst dice.
I don't.
A
I
lot
don't
of
know
them
what
are my
dice
worst
you have.
dice.
I don't know what dice you have.
One of
Well,
them.
I should just gift you one of my dice. Then you just have like a permanent good dice.
No, hold on.
No, then they'll become corrupted. That's the
Wait,
gist.
no, hold on.
You take the red dice or the blue dice.
Here, just do me a favor and oh, that's not it. Do me a favor and go look in No Mike.
Yes, your spreadsheet of die.
All 44 of them.
All right. So, is
Wait, hold
everybody
on.
good? Is everybody good to go?
Yeah.
I'm just checking to make sure. Everybody, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go ahead and get the usual tabletop set up, and I will let you guys know when that's good. All right?
Gotcha.
Yep.
Why does only your ice dice set have 4d6s?
Oh, because that was a Guildmaster set. Like that was an actual official like D&D dice set.
Nope.
All right.
I'm going to raid Young King for their dire wolves. I mean, what?
I mean, go right ahead. We'll just get a free raid cooldown.
I don't think that counts because if we're hunting the dire wolves, it'd just be considered an event. We're not going to actually hurt Young King people. That's the joke.
Suffer.
It's trying to help you guys.
All right.
You know what? Because we're moving fast. You should go golden glitter dice.
Golden glitter. Oh god, I gotta go into my dice.
All right. Behemoth, are you good to hit the button?
The button has been hit about 2 minutes ago.
Oh.
So they
damn.
just heard us discussing over what dice Hope should have.
Yeah, it's a comparatively
My brother
tame
says
conversation.
Guten Abend, Herr Behemoth.
Oh. Good evening to him as well, I suppose.
He says good evening to you as well, I guess. We're doing D&D, Greg.
Guten Abend.
Shut the fuck up.
Your brother's name is Greg. Then
My brother says he's a fan.
Hey.
All right.
Is he really watching though?
He's currently sitting next to me playing Skyrim.
Lame.
He has
to come
taste.
over here and use the bonk stick.
All right. So is everybody good to go? Checks all around?
Da.
Yes, I just need to. Give me 1 second.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into today's/tonight's recap, shall we?
I feel like it's really dangerous for me to have the chat room open just in case.
All right. So, as we go ahead and pick up where we last left our intrepid adventuring party, after finding ourselves once again traveling through the northern portions of the Khmer provinces, trying and desperately racing northward in their ever-ending quest of trying to find medicine from, well, a rather decent individual, Lord Brokenridge himself seemed to have been coming under a strict ailment that seemed to have been creeping ever so widely and, well, precisely towards his death. As we pick up where our party had last left off with their previous few weeks of travel, getting just as far north as the large hamlet and castle that was Oldham before traveling northward further to the large volcanic highlands of the Millstone provinces. Traveling far eastward along the road before hearing of what sounded like orcs that have managed to gather themselves along the side of the road. After attempting to dispel and dislodge these machinations of orcs trying to become a problem for local merchants and travelers, finding instead a grove of trees surrounded by a circle of effigies, and one lone knoll, covered in scars and racked with injury, still bleeding profusely. As we get ourselves back into character, after a hectic rush out from the grove, after igniting what seemed to have been the screeching creatures that had come alive, being these effigies from the grove, we pick up as our party is still currently hastily making tracks, dashing further down the road, pressing the horses as fast as they would go. The screeching sound of the effigies fading into the blackness of the night as you leave them further and further behind. Still, the sensation of being followed is prevalent, and you can't help but feel the eyes always watching just from beyond the shadows. And we pick up there as our party is just about another 3 days south of White Ridge, as we get back into character and back into our boots.
It's just going on, like, muttering under his breath on how he hates this, he hates this, he hates this. Tide's not having a good time.
Someone's gonna take a look around, see if he can see anything to do with like anything pursuing them.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Yeah.
Would anyone else like to make, before I ask what Zoram rolled me, what does anybody else want to do a perception check, or is it just
Sure.
Zoram? Okay, go ahead and make me a perception check, Clive.
Oh god, passive perception is a 12. And what do I add to that?
No. So perception check is a D20
Right.
plus your wisdom.
Well, I have no wisdom, so
It's just
Are you
a-
proficient in the perception skill? Because if so, add your proficiency
5.
modifier.
I got a 5. So Clyde still as useless as ever.
Okay. And then from our beloved Zoram,
that's a 21.
20. As night is starting to set in and the darkness creeping through the hills and mountainous terrain of the volcanic highlands of the Balgriff Heights, you can swear you see faint flickers of candlelight throughout the tree line as you continue moving. You guys know you're going to need to stop or else you're risking exhaustion, especially of the horses. But that's what you see.
Okay. Zorn's just gonna keep an eye out on those, making sure that they don't get, closer. But he won't really say anything unless it becomes like, an issue.
Okay. From what you can see, I'll give you a distance here. The woods themselves are pretty small, and they extend along the small baselines of the hills that seem to go into what looks to be a gorge, and then it crops up sharply, and it looks to be the hills and mountainous rocks that start growing into the Balgriff Highlands. So they're maybe about 300-400 feet away, so you see the very soft red glow of these candle lights in the dark, because it is a new moon tonight.
Okay. And he'll just keep an eye on what's going on, and if they get too close for comfort, he'll bring it up to someone, but he won't really say anything at the moment.
Anybody else want to do anything?
Yes, just get
Are
something.
you sure you mean new moon? Because if it's a new moon, there's no moon out.
Exactly. It's a new
Okay.
moon. The reason he can see is because there is no light out. He can see the pretty much the small flickering lights from the distance because there is
Okay.
no light out. It is dark enough that he can see this.
Okay. My bad.
No, you're good. You're
I
good.
misheard.
No, it's quite all right. I understand where the confusion came from. So, do you guys want to pull off to the side and camp for the night, or
May
are
as
you
well
going to
try
press
to.
on?
Whoever takes first watch, Zoram will kind of point out what direction like the lights are, and just to kind of say keep a lookout just in case.
Okay.
Well, who wants to take first watch?
I'll take the first watch.
I'll
Yeah.
take second.
Nara will help out with the second watch.
Clyde says, not Clyde, but Rowan says, well, fuck that. After what we saw and what was woken up, I'm gonna go ahead and take and help first watch.
Is a third watch necessary?
Third watch wouldn't really be necessary. So let me give you a reference. Normally, normally with the two watches, it covers a span of 8 hours for the people who need long rests and those who need 4 hours for their long rest, including half elves and elves. Now, including a third shift in there is more of somebody taking like an hour and a half watch just at the crack of dawn when the last watch is out and waking everybody else up, just so that anything that would try and surprise them as they're packing their things would be spotted.
Okay. Zoram would probably do that.
Okay. So for the first watch, I will go ahead and have you roll me a perception check.
Fuss.
All right. First watch, what did you get for your perception?
I got a 17.
Okay. And then Rowan, go ahead and roll. Okay, not bad. So, as Rowan is currently keeping watch with you, he comes over and there's kind of a gruffness to his voice. I'm sorry to ask, but what the fuck, dude? Well, why did you put us in danger like that?
This is why you took the watch to. We've all had our fair share of mistakes.
Yeah, mistake to say the least. It's
Or do you want a lack of better term?
a fuck up, maybe.
I mean, if you call it a mistake, call it a fuck up. At least we're not dead yet.
Keyword yet.
And I'd like to keep it that way. Through the watch, as you two kind of have that minor petty squabble and bicker. You continue to keep an eye out and watching the tree line against the small gorge that leads up into the heights. They're not getting closer, but they are moving slowly and gently. Eventually, as your watch comes to an end with an uneventful evening, you go ahead and wake up the second watch. And Rowan just goes over and he wants to stay awake, but He just doesn't trust it, but he knows he needs to sleep. So, second watch, as you are rudely awakened.
But
It's your turn for watch.
Wake up, it's time for you to start looking at the dark.
I just gives a thumbs up and like goes to the, I guess, watch position.
You'll find that Nerum is easily awoken. He just wordlessly stumbles over to the edge of camp and just looks out into the horizon.
I am very sorry, but every single time I hear Hope's voice, I keep on thinking it's Beth, and then I just imagine Topaz in this situation, and I can't stop.
It's not my fault we're twins.
Alright. Moving up. Niram, go ahead and make me a perception check. And then Clyde, go ahead and make me a perception check as well.
Well, that's a 4.
I got an 11.
Almost 3 times as good.
Niram, you don't know why, but while you're awoken, and you're easy to awaken, you're a very gentle sleeper when you want to be, especially when called. But tonight's different for you. It's as if you keep slowly kind of trying to doze off, like something's trying to call you to sleep. Clyde, as you're currently keeping watch and just slowly keeping an eye towards the trees, you do see the gentle candlelight off in the distance, and it looks like a trail, or even some sort of path through the trees. Other than what you'd seen previously, that's what you would have guessed it was. But you know what sinister intent it holds.
Oh god. God's just gonna keep like nudging him awake, being like, "Hey, wake up, buddy."
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Niram, about halfway through your second part of the watch, as you're trying to slowly doze off, and just as your eyes are about to close, you see something. And it makes you blink for a second with tired eyes and kind of rub them for a second. And you see what you think is a skeleton in the dark. You blink again and it's gone. There's something weird about the skeleton. It didn't look like it was made out of bone. You didn't know what it was made out of. You didn't get a good look. Feel somewhat of an itch on your hand. You look down and you see black spot. It's like pulsing softly.
He's gonna be a bit distracted by that. He's gonna look at his palm for a solid minute or so. After that, he's gonna, I guess, just kind of lean on his greatsword for a bit. Being tired enough. Fucking god damn it. I thought I put it far enough away, but this fucking phone, I swear to god, I need a new one. Well, like, I need some form of electromagnetic shielding for my cable.
God dang it! His phone needs an update in the game.
No, it's
It's
not
just-
that.
As you're sitting there, the small sending stone in your pocket keeps vibrating.
Fucking, just, god damn it. I knew I shouldn't have taken this thing with me. It's only annoying.
God damn ads.
Oh, but like,
Don't get me on
seriously.
ads. Don't get me on ads.
He'll just kind of lean on his greatsword and look at him with as much awareness as he has, being this drowsy.
Eventually, you start seeing as the sun starts rising over the horizon. Eventually, Zoram, you kind of feel yourself like gently wake up with your own alarm. Look around and see the small fire you guys had made is slowly smoking the small coals that have been left over at night. You look over and see Niram kind of half asleep on his great sword. You see Clyde is currently wandering about the camp, just gently waking people.
Clyde wouldn't gently be waking people.
Oh, then what is Clyde doing?
He lets them sleep.
He would be taking out his French
Oh my god.
playing a soft tune to
So-
wake them up.
Go ahead and make me a performance check, Clyde.
Ah, yes, Clyde the rooster we didn't need.
And it's a charisma check, right?
Performance. This is a performance-based
Right,
check, so yes, this would be charisma.
Yep. And because I am proficient in that, let's see.
Roll the
Hold
nat
on, give me a
one.
second. I gotta. No,
If
the
you
opposite
roll
of
an-
that.
You roll nat one.
You roll a 20.
I rolled a 20.
So,
Let's see,
as
28
all of
plus-
you are sleeping, you
It's
hear a
fucking
rising
28.
you hear a rising crescendo of the most beautiful jazz music you have ever heard.
Jazz music on the French horn. That's
It's phenomenal. The way you manage to do it is unlike anything else the world has ever seen. And eventually you all start like, damn it, who forgot to turn off their alarm? As everybody starts slowly waking up to the gentle music being played by Clyde. Zoram, if you want to go ahead and do your third watch, you can.
Okay, I'll quickly do that.
This isn't
That
the
is
best way to be
19.
waking up with music.
I feel like I should like make an air horn object with my magic tinkering.
God fucking damn it.
I'm not actually gonna do that, but I feel like I should.
Anyway,
I'd buy it.
moving on.
You know, just to wake up Rowan in specific.
As the day slowly starts winding on, Zoram, you said you got a what? Apologies, you cut out
19.
gently. 19. You look over and see the lights that were once there last night are gone. Or at least you can't see them when the sun is up. It seems they're lost in the light. But you go ahead and watch everybody else get their things packed. And you start looking around. And you start seeing tracks in the dirt. Not from your own.
Do they look human?
They almost look like crow's feet, but heavy, like made of metal.
He's gonna kind of just quickly take a look to see if they go anywhere, but like not wander too far from the group.
You follow them around. Go ahead, make me a general investigation check.
22.
22. You follow them around, and as you follow these footprints, you actually see they kind of dance around the camp in little figure eights. And you see as they slowly trail around towards the outside of the camp, and right where Behemoth's Niram was sitting, you see just about maybe 8 paces away from that. You see that's where the little claw mark indentations end, and then finally walk away.
Niram,
Yes? What's up?
did you not see any of this? And he points down at the crow indentations.
To be frank, no. Not really.
he's kind of looking around, trying to figure out like if they're being watched or not.
You look around, and going off your last roll, you don't see anything. Just the road, the trees about maybe 300-400 paces away. Then the camp. There's nothing here.
Probably best to keep a lookout just in case as we go, because I don't like the fact that we have this around.
Alright. Clyde, you're able to, as you're playing, you're able to watch this happen. You watch them currently, what I mean by them is Zoram. You see as Zoram walks around and then comes back to the front of Niram and has that soft conversation. And even you start realizing you didn't see anything last night.
I kind of like blinks a couple of times, and he's just like, "That's really strange." Danger!
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
I kind of like stops playing after everyone's awake, and then just kind of like start checking everyone's stuff just to make sure there's no creepy crawlies in it.
Okay, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Oh god, what is investigation again? It is 0. Let's go. 16.
16. You look around, and over in the cart, you find, not hidden at all, just standing there, looks to be a small little scarecrow effigy.
Clyde screams like a girl.
What
All
the?
of you who are having a
Full on,
gentle
like-
morning immediately just hear a scream.
Just a full on horror scream, like.
What in the blazes is wrong with you?
She's
points at it
rolling,
being like,
shoots up.
followed us. Clyde just like full on theatric mode. It followed us. Kill it. But not actually kill it, but like, kill it.
No, I'm just gonna unsheath this great song and go, okay, what fucking bug crawled into your bag this time?
You walk over and you see the small scarecrow effigy that denotes the same kind of little marker that you had seen in the grove. And you see it just laying right there in the corner of the cart.
Hey, Valis, Zoram,
What?
can
Do
someone
I know
here
what this is?
make out what the fuck is going on?
Make me an Arcana check, or make me an intelligence check. Let's just say make me a base intelligence check, Zoram.
Because out of character, I think I know what this is. Uh, 21.
The footprints led away from the camp,
Okay.
but you're not sure if these feet can turn backwards and walk back over their own prints.
Okay, do the feet match
For all
the
we know, it
prints?
walked back. For all we know, it walked backwards.
The feet of the effigy?
Do
If
the
the feet of the effigy meet the same kind of footprints around,
Yeah.
I mean, from what you can tell, I mean, yes, there's a small discrepancy to it. But yeah, it seems to relate pretty much to the outline.
What do you what kind of discrepancy?
You see, one of the feet is missing a toe.
Okay. Uh, Zoram is going to casually try and pick it up.
Okay. Snag it up and nothing happens.
Okay, he's going to remove it from their cart and put it back by the woods, because
All right, so
you don't want none of that in their cart.
you grab it and walk back to the woods and put the effigy back down on pretty much on one of the trees and walk away. Go ahead, make me a perception check.
Okay.
Is that to everyone or just him?
Just him.
Damn it.
Oh, that's a lot better.
It's a 3 plus
No,
20.
because I'm trying to do math and now my brain is breaking. 23. I don't know why I had trouble adding 5 to
Wait,
8.
I was right. I said 20 plus 3.
No, I had a trouble adding 5 to 18, and I don't know why.
Don't worry. Literally everybody has that trouble. Don't even worry
Mathematics
about it.
are difficult. Don't worry about
As
it.
you
It's hard when
turn
you only
about,
have 3 hours of sleep.
you turn about and you look at this thing. You keep an eye on it and you make sure it doesn't move.
Don't fucking move. Gonna
And
fucking
it doesn't move. So you walk your way back to the camp, keeping your eye on it the whole way there until it's nothing but a speck against the tree. And then, even then, you hesitantly look back towards the group.
It's gonna look in the cart again and just start to search it even more. We're not taking any stowaways today.
I'm gonna look back just to make sure it doesn't move. Like I look away for a bit and then I look back just to make sure.
You look
It's
away,
gone.
you look back, make me a perception check.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Please don't move. That's a 17.
You don't see it for a moment, but as you slowly train your eyes, think you see it.
You better be fucking there. You better stay the fuck over there. I don't
Are
want
there
none of you.
are there any more stowaways in the cart?
As you are searching the cart, no more stowaways.
Okay. Clyde's gonna do a double check of everything in the camp.
Go ahead and make me an investigation check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Oh gosh.
Actually, no, you know what? Rowan will help you here, so it'll, just one roll.
13.
No, nothing seems to be awry. It is all there.
Are you sure about that?
As far as you're aware, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do another
Nope.
sweep just because Clyde is a paranoid bitch.
Hey, are you okay, man?
We just found a scarecrow or an effigy or whatever the heck that thing is in our cart. I'd
you
be a
burn
little
it or
bit worried
something?
about that. What?
What?
I didn't hear what you said there.
Probably for the best.
I heard what he said.
So, as this conversation sparks up, and Clyde, you continue searching around
Do I have
near
to
him.
make another roll?
Near him.
Hmm.
You look down at the footprints that you see through the camp, and you see where they stop or where Zoram had led to them. You get a ping of remembrance. It's where you saw that skeleton standing last night. Was it a skeleton? You don't know. There's just something off about it.
I fucking swear, if it's what I think it is.
He's
I don't
gonna
know.
he's gonna
Is it-
relay any information he has to the others. He's gonna tell them that there was something. He couldn't make out what it was. It looked like a skeleton to him. And that was about all he could remember.
Actually, great. when Vientos looks at the footprints, and then hears Nerima the skeleton, what kind of skeleton was the servant one that was summoned by accident?
That was a normal skeleton.
Okay, never mind.
Normal skeleton.
I think we should probably get moving before whatever whatever it was that decide to do a little Hulu dance around us to show up again.
The fuck's a Hulu dance? No, let's just go.
All right. So packing all of your things together. Oh, damn. Okay. Sorry, I needed to roll for something, and it was just below what it needed to be.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's not good, is it?
I don't know, is it? Anyway, moving on.
Whenever
So-
you say something like that, I just have that gif of just the profuse sweating. The guy who's like literally just
From
pouring
Keensville.
sweat.
As you continue moving, you all load into the cart and you start going at your breakneck pace once again.
Wait, hold on. Grape,
Yes.
did I? Is
No.
everything safe?
Everything seems okay.
I checked again. Can I roll?
Seems.
Everything seems okay.
All right.
Panic.
I'm sorry. I have DM trust.
DM trust issues.
Don't you trust our DM, Hope? Come on.
Not after Atrax. You know what Atrax did.
Oh god, let's not bring that up here. But
I don't think I want to know. Anyway,
you shouldn't.
so as you guys travel once again for the next 2 days towards the north, you soon enough come to what seems to be a large city buried into a large, almost rotunda of hills. You see the hills themselves seem to be large, almost mounds that have been built, or at least almost man-made, into a large circle. And you see on the top, just the basis around the hills, you see as a wall has been built. The wall itself looks to be made of some sort of a white stone that seems to almost hint at the name of the city of White Ridge. You see the ridge that it is built along goes down, and you start following a small pathway that, as you follow it, goes further and further down, and you start seeing as it breaks up into almost a sand-like coast that falls off into the ocean. You look forward and see the towering walls that once held this great city are diminished as you get closer to them. You see crumbling and cracks that seem to just denote how ill-kept the walls are. The oddest thing of all is you don't see guards either.
Are we going into another town that has like a dead baby in the corner?
Yes.
Oh
Wait,
god.
the last town that we checked didn't have a dead baby. It had a live baby.
You know what I meant.
You don't think White Ridge has been, he kind of points out that the fact that there's no one guarding it, but are the gates open?
Nope.
No?
Gates are not open.
Let's just
Can
go
I
over.
go up the gates and
Yeah.
peer into them?
Zorm is gonna try and do the same just to kind of see what's going on.
Okay. So as you start slowly making your way up to these walls and you peer into it, go ahead, both of you make me a perception check.
And this is like being in LZC waiting for someone to get the gates.
Mm-hmm.
That's 23.
Okay.
12.
As both of you take turns kind of looking through the small slit in these heavy oak doorways that seem to befit this thick gate, you look beyond it, and Clyde, you can't see much except what looks to be some sort of an open fairground or so that seems to clear beyond the walls.
Alright.
Zorm, as you look into it with a little bit more of a trained eye and an easier vision through this slit, you see just beyond, in maybe about 50-ish feet away from the gate, what looks to be small basins of fire. There are small crowds of people currently gathered around them, make out small bits and pieces of armor here and there. And that's about all you can see from here.
Um. Nizorm kind of looks to the rest of the group. I can see some people, but I'm not sure. Like, should we just knock?
Well, here's a question. Do they look like guardsmen or do they look like, standard civilians?
Kind of hard to tell from this distance.
I mean, they could fly up and try to find out.
If you want to take that risk,
As all of you are sitting in the cart waiting for Clyde and Zorm to return, you hear something. It's like rustling in the small shrubs and low underbrush that seems to grow at the small, almost valley road that grows into the flat plain that opens up into White Ridge. And you all wait there. You start hearing soft movement. Zorm, as you return with Clyde, and you both start striking up this conversation with Vullis. You all watch as suddenly popping out from the small shrubbery and bushes looks to be about 8 almost cloaked figures with long crossbows and bows at the ready.
Clyde just yips and jumps back like, ah! Shit!"
and Puby.
See as one of them slowly coming out, you hear a clanking of metal and armor. And you watch as a partially armored knight starts making his way out. And look over.
Do they look dangerous?
They have crossbows. What do you think?
Crossbows and bows, yes.
I'm talking
These,
about body language. Are they drawn? Are they like...
yeah,
Do they look like they're about to kill us, or do they look somewhat hesitant?
these people look ready to kill.
Well, fuck.
As you all stand there with all of these arrows and bolts trained at you, this armored knight comes by. You see the armor itself is scuffed and dented in many places. This is no knight in shining armor. You watch as he comes by with the helmet tucked under his heavy arm. Comes by with a long, heavy belt that seems to denote about 3 different swords just hanging from it. And he sticks his hand up in a friendly gesture to both sides, and you watch as the crossbows are still trained, but the archers slowly unnock their arrows.
This is
And he looks back to you. Hail, friend. Your business in White Ridge. Apologies for the scare.
well, hail there. Yes, this is quite the welcoming, but we're just here to find travel. Heading to, let's see here.
North, really.
Trying to catch a ship towards towards the north, towards the Hollow. I think that's what it's called, Hollows. I can't
Yeah,
even. I
the
can't
Black
tell.
Hallows. The Black Hallows, yes.
All right.
And he,
Might I ask why there's a bit of jittery to hide in the bushes rather than the safety of the walls?
We're used to merchants traveling this way. You didn't seem to look the befitting type of merchants, nor did we see any mercenary company colors to you. So apologies there as well. We've had a lot of run-ins with bandits through the hills in these past months.
Mm. Almost as bad as the orcs down the main path, but I
Orcs.
can see.
We had heard ogres, not orcs.
From the looks of them, they were orcish, but I wouldn't say that they're ogres. And he kind of recalls a moment. They didn't look like ogres, did they? They just looked like beefed up orcs, right? Grape?
They looked like enlarged orcs. Yes.
Yeah, no, they weren't ogres. They looked like orcs who grew, if that makes any sense.
Can I quickly make an OOC comment?
Yes.
What?
They were orcs that took steroids.
Orcs that didn't skip leg and arm day.
You see as he finally
Ever
puts his
since
hand down that he
1590X.
kept up. Well, you say you're here for travel northward to rent or charter a ship towards the Hollows, yes?
That's the intention,
I
yes. Maybe even come here for a little bit of trade to bring towards.
Make me a general charisma check.
Okay.
Can I help by playing jazz in the background?
oh my gosh. Just
I'm
play.
good. I got a 19. I got a 19. I'll need jazz music in the background. I just feel like instead they would go. Clyde would just start
It's
singing.
bardic inspiration.
You watch as he gives a gentle kind of shrug towards the others that are currently now. You watch as he makes the small motion, and you watch as the crossbows are brought down, and you hear the soft plinking as the tension is released. Very well. If you're here to bring trade and you're here to charter a ship, we shall allow you through. Do be wary. The people are superstitious about your kind. And you see as he points out towards both Niram and Zorm.
If it
don't
isn't
worry.
too much to inquire, what kind of superstitions should we both be expecting?
Most of the bandits in these hills are of your, I apologize for my terms, but ilk. Dragon in their blood, but they do not have the same courtesy of yourselves.
So things along the
More,
lines of dragon
more
killing.
chromatic, if I might say, instead of
Point
metallic.
taken.
Very well.
Hmm.
He makes a small motion with his hand, and you see as the 8 other figures that have kind of popped out of the brush slowly make their way down. They make very little noise from what you can immediately hear and see. They're almost dressed like, if you guys want to just kind of a general picture, think the Rangers in Lord of the Rings that popped up and attacked both Sam and Frodo.
Just all dark cloaked.
Yeah, dark cloaks, leather armor. Most of them look pretty heavily unshaven, but their equipment is very well maintained. As you are pretty much escorted into the city, the heavy gates eventually are opened up for you. And as you trail in, you start seeing the large grounds that open up beyond the walls. You see the clearing that opens up from the walls inward lasts about 30 feet until there's almost a secondary wall that's been erected. But this one looks to be almost like a small palisade with large, almost loopholes in the center of it. As you pass by this secondary gate, You actually see what looks to be in the open ground. There are lots of houses built around here, but it's a very open city and settlement. While not being large, it is still built pretty much with a lot of seclusion and individualism built in mind here. Continuing forward once again, as you bring your cart slowly and you start seeing as small crowds and gatherings of people come out as they look about and watch you enter in. You see some people are grabbing and or making small little signs on their chest as they see both Niram and Zoram, but eventually start making their way in as they see the guards are currently escorting you guys in. Making your way further in, you start seeing as more color and devotion towards whatever lord of the city is more predominantly displayed. You see large banners of white and gold that are hanging from large 2 to 3 story towers that just seem to denote their being and loyalty. You start running into more people here, but it's a very small... As these crowds of people are starting to get denser and thicker towards the center of the city. Eventually you are stopped at what looks to be a long, squat building, mostly made of wood with small little denotions of stone built into the sides of the walls to reinforce it. And you see a small, waving wooden plaque. This is the rusty Spittoon.
Yes, the Spittoon.
Yes, the rusty Spittoon. As you walk yourselves in, as the knight walks by, and he greets you at the door as you all dismount. You'll be able to find lodging here. I shall speak with the Lord about having you charter a ship. I apologize if our ships are in short supply. We've heard of gathering reports from the Anvil Coast, and our Lord is not too keen on having beastly pirates once again.
I see.
It's understandable.
Indeed it is. Well, at least we can say we're used to sea life. So we can at least handle ourselves on the ship if need be.
He nods.
Thank you for your assistance, sir.
It is but my duty. I need no thanks for it. You hear him clank off as his armor takes him off. He watches the rest of the small band of guards that he has just start slowly dispersing. One of them does stick by you. You see as it's almost a small precaution or so, but you can't really tell. As you guys are eventually kind of shuffled yourselves into this relatively rotund tavern. Opening it up is a pretty somber atmosphere. The sound of cards being shuffled, of small, what almost look to be ceramic balls being tossed around on a table with numbered sides to them. You look about and the smell of dense smoke and incense is definitely thick to the air, as well as spilled alcohol and, well, mildew and not exactly the highest of ordered taverns here. The old barkeep that stands by the side you see is a woman with a long kind of graying hair that comes down in a braid over her shoulder. She does look somewhat elven in the features of her face, but you see as she's predominantly human. Is there something I can help you with? I see you come through my doors as weary travelers. Are you here to drink or get a room?
I think we're here to do a little bit of both.
Both it is. Well, welcome and willing to have you. She does kind of look over at Zoram and Niram. And she doesn't make anything of it. She just looks at him and seems to note their presence. Anyway, cause no trouble, and the drinks will flow as you need.
That's what we like to hear. Let's see. Well, what is your best drink, if I may ask? It's our first time here at White Village.
Well, what I can offer you is some Bovian wine. The Bovian wine, since you seem to not, well, I see the faces you're making. It's a wine strictly from up north, over towards the Cold Crest. Not exactly from the Amber Forest quality, but the hills there do grow a strong grape that manages to be, well, milked of all of its fine fermented goodness. It gives a strong bite.
Zorm is going to order some of the some wine and pay up front.
As you are offered the wine, and it's a silver piece. As you go ahead and drink it, the wine itself doesn't taste like wine at all. It hits you in the throat like a fireball. It tastes more like an ale than a wine. And immediately say, you were not expecting that. And leaves a somewhat sour taste in your mouth. But it does kind of hit your liver, and it feels like a very strong burn.
Question is it a good burn?
It is a good burn, but I know it's a very not exactly a good wine, but it doesn't taste for everybody.
Hey, well,
Sorry, my brother's having a emotional discussion here about the fantastic wine that they are offering.
hey, Volus, I think you'll enjoy this.
Oh. Well then, sure. I'll take one as well. So putting silver piece down.
Just gets Willis drunk.
Yeah, you put the silver piece down and you drink it.
Willis can handle his alcohol. What do you mean?
You having a finer taste to your tongue immediately notice it is not just the grape that is strong in this wine. This wine is actually seems to be stiffened with almost a third of an amount of ale. It seems to have been a watered down wine with ale in it.
Mm.
And it leaves a very kind of sour and bitter taste, but it does leave a fine burn to it. The kick you get from it is more like that of something you would feel from a cow, so thus the name, the bovine ale. Or Bovian, sorry. Bovian ale.
Mm. Not bad at all, actually.
She gives a smile and nod. You there, what can I get for you? If there is anything, as she's currently looking over at Clyde and Niram.
Water? He questioned. Please.
And she goes over and grabs a large pitcher from the side of the bar and just pours you a tankard of water and slides it over to you. That one's on the house. You'll need to pay for your next ones.
Thank you, he says as he moves to take a sip.
Naram is just gonna...
Very well.
Sorry. Naram is also going to ask for a tankard of water, and he will put down a gold piece as recompense.
She looks down at the gold piece and looks at you.
It's some fine, expensive water you're trying to buy.
Yeah, she goes over and she actually grabs a pitcher of what looks to be a very amber brown liquid. And she sets that down instead of the water. And she actually pours you a tankard of that and hands it to you and leaves the pitcher for you and takes the gold piece.
He will just wordlessly accept the tankard, not questioning what is going on. And I suppose he will take a sip to see what it is.
It's a very fine stein. Very fine. The bitterness is immediately followed by a very fine burn. It's a very good stein-like ale that just kind of hits you, and it leaves a very warm and fuzzy feeling in your chest. A very comfortable drink.
He'll just kind of lean back and enjoy his stein.
She comes over as she serves all of you and then sets her elbows on the bar. So, if I might ask, you seem to be some weary traveler. What seems to be your business, if I might ask?
Simple one, really. We're here to just do some trade and head up north. Um, though we will need to take a ship. Uh, we are in a bit of a rush, so hopefully we shall be able to get our trading back. You know how money flows in the world.
She nods. Yes, I quite do. Well, any trade you might be able to offer me?
Mm, Well, let us see. I do have a little bit of, at least some personal stock that I can sell. And he does like move some gems around some of the rings that he does have. Let me see what else I also have in this. He does pull out like a few golden rings worth 100 gold pieces. And where is it that I had? All right. He just kind of shows the bartender just a couple of jewelries, some black gems, silver necklaces, uh, things
She
of
looks at them and kind of laughs. I'm not sure what you take me for. I apologize. Well, I might be a woman interested in her jewelry. I don't think I'll be buying any for the tavern. Besides, it looks a bit pricey even for my taste.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, I actually need to check my inventory. I did.
I feel
There's
like
also these decorative urns, and he does shout these. During the trip, he did empty out the urns, clean them out. These coral urns.
She looks at those and you see a brief flicker. Go ahead, make me an insight check on this. Actually,
Insight.
make me an
Okay.
insight check on this.
I got a 18.
See a flicker of recognition as you bring out these coral urns.
Oh no, they were the urns of a loved one. You best.
Why are you calling me a bastard?
She doesn't say anything. She just. How much do you want for them?
How much are you willing to trade? I'm not picky when it comes to.
I'll give you 2 barrels of my finest, and I'll throw in another bottle of wine.
Could work. Could work. You seem
I
to
could
have
throw in
quite
10
a.
gold pieces if you wish.
I prefer the battles, but do ask me. I do wish to ask this. You seem a little bit interested, at least how you look at these. Mind if I ask if you had some remembrance with them?
She
If it's
squints her eyes for a moment. Make me a persuasion check.
+6, here we freaking go. 23.
23. Some recognition. Yes. I've seen decorations like this come from the some of the merchants over from the Atlantic coast, yes. And, well, I decided, since this is the second or third time I've seen these come by, I might as well buy one. They seem to be of a commodity.
Hmm. I see. Well, I do not mind parting myself with these with such things, so feel free.
Uh,
Sorry.
How many do you have,
Kind of
if I
think.
might inquire?
Let me check my inventory again. I have 4, but I'm gonna tell her 3.
Then I'll throw another barrel in for you.
Oh. Oh, well, all right then.
3 barrels for 3 of these fine, whatever they are.
Urns. But
Urns. Thank you.
Excuse me, if you don't mind me asking,
Certainly.
how much are your rooms?
Oh, rooms are only about 2 silver pieces. Just for the night, of course.
Do they have just a single bed, I'm assuming?
They are rather large beds, so you could fit 2 on them if you needed.
Okay. Zorm is going to slide over to Silver for now and just say, I'm probably going to just rest for the day.
Very well. It's not for everybody. Well, to double up, I mean. And she gives you a soft wink.
And Zorm just chuckles and just he avoids trying to smile because he knows that it's kind of intimidating, and he just gives them a nod and goes to head to their room after setting it up.
Alright. So,
He would like to do some work on his weapon.
alright. So, you go ahead and make your way back to your room, paying 2 silver pieces and making your way to the room. It's actually a fairly comfortable room. The room itself is relatively large. It's maybe about a decent size, about 7 foot by 7 foot, enough to fit a relatively large bed and room to maneuver in. So it's not exactly small, but it's not exactly, well, a mansion suite.
Mm-hmm.
it's decent.
Yeah, it's decent.
Unlike the tiny rooms normal taverns have.
Mm-hmm. And you go ahead and start working on that. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
That
And she goes over and, Gerald, would you mind helping these gentlemen with 3 barrels and throw in a bottle for them? And she is a gruff-looking half-orc, kind of stands up with a heavy leather apron, kind of grunts as he stands. Yes, ma'am. I'll get it done for you. And he immediately just kind of sombers over. And this is what you kind of realize as he starts walking closer. This guy's about the size of Niram.
he's a big boy.
He's a big old boy.
That's a big boy right
As
there.
he sombers over, he
Frickin'
goes over and
chunk.
grabs onto one of the barrels and starts immediately just making his way outside before he just actually stops at the door. Before I leave, I need to ask, you in a cart or am I loading this onto a horse?
It's
We have a car just front.
Alright, I'll load this up for you. And
Thank
immediately starts walking off.
I
Over the
feel
course
like-
of the next 20 minutes, he starts loading the barrels for you.
I feel like Zoram's gonna be happy that we had 3 barrels worth of alcohol.
That would be Theron, not Zoram.
Let's
Zoram
keep it in
goes-
this campaign. Keep it in this campaign, boys.
Anyways,
You can have your little discussion after.
It's gonna say, by the way, that is a 27 for Arcana.
So, as you spend your moments just thinking carefully and providing the small imbuing magics onto your weapon, you feel it's starting to take hold. The imbuement is on its way to take hold. Alright. So, the rest of you, as this is going on, what do you guys want to do?
This is something I had to ask. Did that lady say barrels of the wine, or was it of what? I'm trying to just write it down.
As you would ask, she kind of looks at you. Well, we could. Normally, the barrels I have come from the Boven Ale. But if you require, I can throw in ale instead.
I'd say the Bovenale will do.
Good, because I wouldn't want to, upset the muscle. And you, just to accent this, you see as the half-orc immediately just kind of walks his way back in and opens the door and shuts it rather heavily.
I can see that. Actually, they never said a name, did they? Grape.
They did give a name, unless you were not paying attention, but that's alright.
Well, he kind of thinks a moment and is just like, actually, I've heard that been some scarcity with the seafaring trades, at least in Whitebridge and around north. Something about bestial bandits. Is there maybe you can put some more insight on this?
You hear a scoff come from the half-orc behind you that was just loading the heavy barrels. He goes, well, yes. Rather bad lot they are. Old, too. Every once in a while, much like the raids of old that come from the brigade, we have, every once in a while you'll hear it coming across the bay. Drums. Drums from the east always seem to denote their heavy toll. They aren't exactly pirates. They're beasts. Men and women. More cursed and, twisted as the monsters that their egos have them to believe. I don't know much on what cursed them nor what put them there, but I know that the island that they call home has many mountains that love to erupt with the will of the gods. So take with what you will someone who would love to live there as the constant flow of, liquid hatred that seems to pour out of it. So, they are hearty creatures. They are very, let's just say if you want to know more about it. She points to the half-orc. He used to be a sailor. He ran into them when their first raid came by about 20 years ago. doesn't much talk about it, so don't tell him I told you to talk to him about it.
No, I won't. They will be safe. But he does take a moment to place down 30 silvers, 2 for the room and 1 thanks for the information.
She takes them in stride. She looks at the rest of you. A room for you 2, or 3, as Rowan actually kind of stumbles his way into the tavern. With as most of you have come to realize, a shit-eating grin on his face. As he stumbles his way into the tavern.
Clyde kind of like looks over to Rowan. He's like, "What did you do now?"
Something of my own accord. He walks his way in.
That means either you try to seduce a tree or otherwise. I'm kidding. I did
The
not say
Ent was a one-time thing.
I'm sorry, what?
The way
That's a
he said,
story to another.
the way he said it seemed to have been playing off the joke that he was thrown at from Volus. So don't get your hopes up. He didn't try and bang a tree.
Hey, I'm not there in character, so I can't say nothing.
What? Clyde just kind of like looks really, really confused.
And if you don't know.
All right. So, as you find yourselves asleep, or through the day, Zoram, you complete this day and run of your imbuement. It's not completed yet, but it is on its way. Volus, you get to your room and sleep rather heavily. It's a very comfortable mattress. And seems to be stuffed with a mixture of feathers and hay. Seems to give it at least somewhat of a comfortable feeling. Niram, Clyde, are you guys gonna get yourself some rooms as Rowan kind of throws
course,
a couple of silver
course.
pieces and gets a room himself?
Yep. Naran will definitely
only
get
have-
himself a room. And he will pay
only
for
have
Clyde's
gold.
room as well.
No, I don't want to be in debt anymore.
You put the extra silver out there just as Clyde's hand is about to drop the pieces, and Clyde looks at you as if betrayed.
Naram just looks over to Clyde and sees the disappointment and just goes, just accept it, okay?
However, coming
Sorry,
back
one more time?
behind, as this is going on, you do, just as you're about to head out, Niram, the half-orc kind of points at you and notions for you to come over.
Alright, he'll go over and see his beckoned.
You watch as he withdraws his hand and picks up his tankard from the top and sips it kind of through his hand and puts it down. I have a question to ask you. If you don't mind my doing so.
Oh, absolutely not. Please, go ahead.
You aren't into praying to anything weird, are you?
Not
Hold
that
on, I'll be
I,
right
Sip
back.
again.
not that I know of, no. I'm not.
Any of your compatriots into it as well?
No. Again, not that I know of.
Very well. And leans back. And belch.
a bit
Go ahead and drink
bewildered.
again.
Naram is just like, All right, glad to help out, I suppose. Have a nice evening. And he just like proceeds to his room.
Right. As the night progresses, even through the shuttered windows that are locked and heavily wooded down by thick latches, you start hearing crows, ravens through the night. And they sound like they're building up, more and more coming. It almost seems to negate your sleep. You find trouble, even tossing and turning doesn't feel very restful. And
I'm back.
as you hear these building of crows and ravens, as you all find yourselves trying to sleep for the night, you hear what sounds like scratching coming from your window shutters. Like someone took a very heavy dagger and is currently running them very slowly across the shutters. You hear it start dragging against the wall before it hits the next window and just picks up scratches. And
Can Clyde wake up and just like look out the window as it's scratching?
Go ahead, make me a perception check.
Do we have the bot dice because my dog is currently keeping me occupied?
Yes, there is a bot. You can use the bot.
What's the command for it?
Uh, Go ahead and go to either no mic or that, and you go exclamation point roll.
10.
Exactly. You get to the window just as it stops scratching. You were a bit slow on the uptake. And you immediately look over, and you see just at the base of the window along the ground what looks to be crow's foot, or at least crow's feet footprints.
Oh.
And they look big.
That's not concerning at all.
I assume
The
everyone else.
rest of you are, oh yeah, you're hearing this. It's scratching across all of your windows in a line. And it goes right down the tavern wall.
Well, this kind of sits up, looks towards the window, and kind of grumbles. Though, what time would it be if he does look out the window?
Would be roughly about maybe 12:30, just about 1 o'clock. So it's late.
Kind of grumbles since he couldn't really pass the time by opening the book, or he could, but he doubts there's gonna be anything on it. But he kind of keeps his gaze outside at first, then I guess open one of the tomes.
You go over and unlock it. Start pulling it open. You hear a fluttering of wings and it. You look over and see a raven that just landed in your windowsill as you have left the shutters open. And it. Ha!
And just places the book down, just stares at the bird. Like judgingly stare at the bird.
Make me a perception check.
It is that plus 5, 30, 20. So 15 plus 5.
As you are looking at this and listening, you hear footsteps, almost like heavy metal footsteps. Sounds like armor or something made of metal that you hear. Almost in a limping sound. And you hear squealing, almost like metal that needs to be oiled. Do you look over to the side of the crow in the corner of the window? You see a small flickering flame. Looks to be candlelight.
So there's a like flame. With this dark vision, will you be able to see a little bit clearer of
The,
what
on,
this
the,
thing?
o- the only thing you see is a small portion of a head and a little bit of what looks to be candlelight just kind of coming from the face.
That's kind of just goes to the window, like looking at the crow, then at the figure, and at the crow, and just tries to shoo the crow back.
Go
But his
shoo
eyes
the crow. And it immediately starts flying off.
has this staring contest with this candlelight being. This does put some tension on him, but he's waiting to see if to try something.
As you watch intently on this little flicker of light coming from your windowsill, you hear a soft scratching sound. And you look and you see is a heavy metal claw with four, what almost looks to be four long curved blades that immediately just kind of slap onto the windowsill and gouge. And you watch as it slowly seems to pull the hand up. And you watch as long bits and pieces of strained metal, twisted sinew of cloth, wood, immediately just seem to start poking out of this elongated arm. Watches the figure of the eye, this head with candlelight, immediately starts slowly poking its head into this small opening that is your window. And you see the cloth face mask that seems to denote just over top of what seems to be a bony metal figure underneath. You hear a soft just escape its mouth from underneath the cloth. Watch as it ducks its head and slowly starts pulling itself in through your window.
You see Wallace is slowly grabbing the book in one hand, but backing away towards the door.
You
At the end.
grab the book and it stops. And you watch as a small flickering candlelight, its eyes seem to almost move and flicker and look at the book. Then look at you. You watch as it slowly starts making its way closer into your room. You watch as its shoulder starts pushing in, as its left one immediately starts scraping with a heavy metal sound, almost threatening to break the windowsill, as it tries to start shoving itself into this window, still slowly, not with any haste. Watch as it comes in and then clatters to the floor, almost like a scarecrow. You watch as the lights in its eyes seem to have just gone out. What do you do?
He has his hand pointed to it, having his spell ready, but
Hmm.
he seems very concerned, just looking to the book, then at it. This stuff is loud, right? What it just did.
Oh yeah, it's loud. Yeah, it's clattering all about, and it's making a shitload of noise.
Where are our rooms in relation to Volus's?
The rooms are pretty close together. Uh, you guys were kind of given rooms that were in a small line, just in case you wanted to stay close.
Well,
I
it's
don't know
just
if
kind
like
of shimmies over. He has his spell ring pointed at the thing, ready to blast it, but he kind of just tried to get a better look. He's around 10 feet away from it.
Remember, it's a 7 foot by 7 foot room.
Oh, I did not know that. Then I guess he's like, he kind of plays it smart, goes out, his eyes still on it, and presuming he kind of just knocks on the door next to him, thinking it's one of his party members, but his eyes are just focused on this scarecrow-like thing.
Are you getting closer to it?
A, a little.
All right, you step forward. Nothing seems to happen. Watch it still just laying there on the floor, broken like a puppet without its strings.
What in the name of, here you go get the others. And he kind of backs up, like backpedals towards the door,
You
goes out, and
backpedal and you shut the door. You hear nothing.
then he's gonna knock on, see if anyone else is awake.
well,
All right,
he's
you
always
go over and
probably awake.
it's just start banging on their door. Zoram, you're awoken and kind of rudely disturbed. Well, you've been awake, but you're just kind of rudely disturbed as you've been waiting to hear more sound from outside, and you've been hearing something coming from further within this tavern. And you're not sure what it was, and then all of a sudden you hear a rapid banging on your door that just kind of startles you for a second.
Zorm's gonna open his door.
Look in, and you see currently a rather disturbed-looking Volus holding a thick tome book in his arms.
You okay?
Well, aside from some crow creature trying to break into my room, yes, I'm fine.
I'm sorry, you want to run that by me again?
The metallic crow-like thing just broke into my room. I think it's dead on the floor, but
Did you attack it?
no.
Can you show me it?
Come on. I kind of just motions him to follow as there is tension.
Wakes up the other mage, doesn't get the tank. Let's get in the close quarters with this thing.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just laughing.
I mean, I'm tankier than he is.
Yeah, but you're not as tanky as another you have.
That is
Well,
true.
he did try. Okay, well, then he's gonna knock on. How far apart are the doors? Because
The
then,
doors are maybe about, what, 11, 12-ish feet apart?
hmm. So then, I shall simply just knock for more. He kind of just gestures, uh, Zoram towards his room.
Yeah, as you
You
gesture
get more.
Zorn towards your room, you head over towards Niram, and you. Niram, you hear a soft kind of knock that's banging on your door after hearing the scratching from outside.
Naren would be awake at this point. He's not been sleeping very heavily. He just goes and opens the door. Hearing the ruckus before has kind of made him cautious, and he's gripping for his sword.
Grab the
What?
sword behind the
Jeez.
door and.
What's going on?
My room, there's a crow-like puppet creature there. Might need your help.
Well, let's see. He just nods and follows along, sword in hand, unsheathed.
As near you, grab your sword and walk out. As you walk your way towards Volus's room and you open the door and peer into it near him, you're kind of the first one in and stepping forward. The room is empty. The window is shut, closed. And there's nothing in this room.
Zorn looks over at Volus, like, care to explain?
Must have got away. Like, you can see a look of confusion, Volus. You guys obviously should have heard it too, right? Like the odd clanging sounds.
Oh, I've heard it.
Then it must have fled. That's my most given option of it. But I at least got a good look at it.
Can you describe it?
And Bells goes on to describe how it was a mix of like metal, flesh, and that did resemble a crow with us, and had kind of like was it like candle-like eyes, or did it have like its eyes having like a flame-like effect to them?
It had a familiar candle-like light.
So Eddie mentioned that he kind of just looks towards the window that was shut. Well, I guess it's obvious it's after me specifically.
Would Zoram know what this is?
Go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Rolls a 3.
That's a natural 20, so +5, that's 25.
The way he describes it, and the way it's carrying itself, the only thing you can think of is the small effigy that was found in the cart that you guys remember.
Okay. I'm just trying to think here. Wait a second, don't I have a feat?
Well, most people have feet, and 2 of them, yes.
No, I was talking about.
I know, I was
Usually
making a joke. I was
pirate.
making...
Because my background is sage, so just seeing if I have the researcher feat. No, I don't.
Yes, they're researching for wooden
Oh,
feet. I mean, what?
Researcher. If you don't know the knowledge, but I don't have that feat. Yeah. So Zorn is kind of just thinking, and he goes, "The only thing I can think about is the effigy that we encountered. It's
That's leaving.
possible. It's possible that whatever you did kind of pissed off the effigy. I don't know. I don't like. He's kind of just trying to figure out what to say right now, because it's like it's a walking pile of sticks, or really
If I
not
may,
sticks, but like
it might be some type of could be some type of necromancy at work. Maybe some raging spirit is possessing this
why did it
crow-like
stop?
effigy.
Why did it stop pursuing you? Is kind of my question.
I I don't know. He kind of looks to see see what time it is. Is it still around 1?
It's after you woke everybody up. Yeah, it's roughly about 1 o'clock now. About maybe 1, 2 o'clock.
Couldn't be time. And just gazes down at his hand. Oh, I did grab my research book. So maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. Just dropped dead after looking at it, then at me. Got into the room and then it dropped. Didn't cast anything yet, so. And I don't have many magical trinkets at all, if at all.
Where did you get that tome?
Zorm, I think you of all people would know where I got the stone.
Is it possible that it's connected to them?
I wouldn't know. Whenever I open it, usually it's blank. All the pages are blank, especially in the daytime. So, try to figure it out.
Honestly, there's nothing that we can really do right now since it's not here, so I'm gonna go back to my room.
But you said
I didn't hear what you said. You
I
kind of
said
fizzled out.
you were just confirming that it looked like the effigy.
Yeah, it looks like it sounds like it's just the effigy, but I don't know what else to do. Like,
Just as a bit of thought, maybe it turns into an effigy during the day, and at night it turns into whatever that thing was. So what would happen if we try to destroy it in the day, or try to banish whatever is in the effigy itself?
well, that would require us to know what we're looking for, and who's to say that we can even destroy it?
I mean, I
You
doubt
said
this
it's
could be
made out of metal.
some metal, some stick, some
Some
it's like a bunch of scrap all gathered together.
if it's a magical creature, if it is some sort of magical construct, who's to say that it can still function without those pieces?
That's why I said to banish it, try to deal with. I doubt it's an actual creature, more so a being that's residing in it. That's why I say we maybe have to deal with, I don't know, some resenting spirit or something. But I can tell you this much: it isn't much of a talker, so it's not like I can converse with it. It's just
I don't have any sort of banishing spells, so I can't really help you there. The only thing I can do is really detect magic, set an alarm for you, or even just if it's what I should have done is when it was motionless in the days, I should have identified it.
Hey
maybe
guys, just one quick interjection.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Can I go back to sleep?
As the wizards and sorcerers start talking about magic, immediately the barbarian, guys, can I? This is
Immediately, he's been standing there for like 10 minutes with his sword, like in ready stance.
yeah. Niram is standing there for like 10 minutes, pretty much half nude, as he's been no armor, nothing, not even like these small tatters of clothing that he wears, just standing there with his sword, like, guys.
Can I go back?
I guess that whatever was here did run away, so you could go back to bed. Apologies.
He's just gonna go and back to his room.
Can I go back to sleep?
Niram, you dragging your sword behind you, just walk in and you shut the door. And you turn around. Bong! What? And you look up. When did you leave a scarecrow in your room? And you're currently just blinking, as within the doorway you have a pretty much almost hanging there like a long puppet with strings connected at its wrists and its shoulders up into the ceiling. That it's currently just dangling in front of your doorway.
He's gonna walk back to Valis and Zoram.
You watch as Niram starts slowly backing out of his room.
Guys, what the fuck is this? Who? Are you trying to prank me?
Zorm's gonna make his way over to see what's going on.
Valis kind of follows as well.
Both of you walk by Niram as you turn back around. It's not there anymore.
Oh, funny guys, I know. Fucking illusions. There was a scarecrow hanging right in the door frame. Who the fuck was it? Do I need to go and fucking wake up Rowan? And beat him up?
I don't know any illusion spells. I'm fairly certain Zormir doesn't know any.
I only know very utilitarian spells, so I don't really know any illusions, so...
You know what? I am going to detect magic and look around.
Detecting magic, you detect yourself. You detect Zoram. You also detect a very hefty magic coming from your tome that you're carrying in your arm. Nothing in the room.
Doesn't sound weird, but maybe we should all rest in the same room. This thing is not hunting me, and then what happens if it's trying to hunt all of us?
Whatever it's trying to do, it's creepy and I don't like it.
I mean,
As you were all currently standing in Niram's doorway, Clyde, as you're currently sitting there on your bed, just like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, you hear meow coming from the windowsill.
Again.
You hear meow of a cat.
I think Gus is the only person here who understands the flashbacks I am getting. Like, just the Vietnam flashbacks.
When you hear it outside your window.
It's gonna get up and look.
You go over and open the windowsill and peer out.
No, he's not opening the window.
Oh, you're not?
He's just peering out of it. I ain't letting no demon in.
Alright, so you looking by.
Sorry, do you think the demon will be stopped by a fucking window?
It might be. Could be like a vampire. You gotta invite it in.
Vampires, at least the courteous.
And you hear a soft scratching against the windowsill.
Oh god, we're gonna look at the windowsill.
Make me a perception check. You see, Beth and Hope are the only people I can really do this to because they actually have cats.
No, we have one cat.
Yeah, I know. You have cats.
That's why you're both crazy cat people.
15.
15. You're looking through the sill. There is no cat that you can see.
What the fuck? Like, honestly, like, I'm sorry, just an OOC thing. Jose.
What?
Yes. Do you understand the nom flashbacks I am getting right now?
Why do you think I'm fucking laughing?
Like, why? Why me? Why is it always the cats trying to fucking kill me? I don't understand. I'm sorry. Okay.
You hear what sounds
Jeez.
like hacking, like ha, 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 and fluttering.
You just hear Clyde kind of like, what the fuck, man? Like, I didn't sign up for this.
Mm, you hear it flutter back, and then you hear a little pecking on the windowsill.
We're gonna look at the windowsill. Again.
You see something that's out there. It looks to be vaguely crow or raven shaped. And you see it looks to be from where its beak is currently tapping on the window.
Is it talking in Morse code?
Make an intelligence check.
I don't have it. Alright, hold on.
I'm sorry, but like what I posted in No Mic is pretty much the vibe I am getting from this.
You got a 1.
1.
I got a nat 1.
That's a, as far as you're concerned, that's a bird out there.
Bird. Dead bird.
Oh my god.
There is nothing but a bird.
Well, no, I wanted to know if it was talking in Morse code.
Yeah, there's nothing but a bird. How could a bird know Morse code?
Bird.
Alright, fine. It's just a bird. Clyde's gonna go back and he's gonna sit on his bed and wonder what the hell is going on.
Alright. Eventually, the ticking does stop. And you almost feel glad because at the end of it, when it seems to start fading away, you hear it sound kind of like, and you hear it dig into the wood on the window like a blade.
Oh god.
And you hear it start scratching through the wood, and it pulls off like somebody just dragged a dagger heavily through a wooden frame.
Can we look back at the window?
There is a small dagger-like hole that has been scratched through the wood.
Yeah, I don't think that was a bird. Is it like with the wood?
I'm sorry, just No Mic. The bird.
Okay, we're gonna look at the hole in the wall. Is there like a breeze coming in from it?
Very, very gentle.
Okay, we're
Blowing
gonna
in from
take
this
up.
hole.
We're gonna get a picture frame of some kind from the room and just stick it on the on the hole.
You pick it up and the breeze kind of makes it somewhat kind of jump against it, but it's better than not being covered.
Okay, Clyde sighs, removes the frame, puts it back to where he got it, and then picks up a blanket and proceeds to shove the blanket
As
into the
you
hole.
turn around and look at it, you see in the hole there's a small little candlelight that's currently flickering in the hole.
Clyde wrapped the blanket around him, being like, I ain't doing this shit. He's fully dressed, and he just, like, all of his stuff just runs out of the room.
You all immediately
Trying to
hear a
find
lot
the
of
other-
loud slamming sounds as suddenly you hear hearing things being shoved into a bag. You hear the door whack slam open. Clyde marches out.
No.
She looks over and sees everybody currently standing in the hall. And Clyde looks frightfully pissed.
Are you all right? Did
There's
something?
a candle in a hole in the wall. A bird was doing a bird thing. It made the hole. The candle. I wanted me to open the window. I didn't. I think it wanted me to open the window. I don't know. I want to go home.
Are
Wait.
you all okay?
We need
I
a fucking
want
cleric.
to go
Yep.
home.
I think I just came into a party of insane people.
Whatever you guys did, it unleashed some sort of horror onto our party, and I just want to go home. Let's just can we do like a non-stop trip or something to get to the medicine? Is that a thing we can do?
I don't think that's a thing we can do.
I wish it was a thing we could do.
So I'm just gonna head back to his room, seeing like he thinks everyone is going crazy, but like he's taking some mental notes.
Can we tinker something to just like steam powered maybe?
Do you want to make a steam-powered proton pack?
I want to make a steam powered cart that we can just like put the horses on and they don't have to walk.
I
We
mean,
just carry them with us.
if I was a different subclass, I could have.
Well, screw your subclass. I'm sorry, that was mean.
You immediately hear a "fuck this" coming from a very kind of obscured part of the tavern. And you immediately hear another slamming door open, and you watch as Rowan marches out, dragging a blanket behind him. He marches out, sees all of you, runs into Niram. "I'm sleeping under your bed tonight." And he walks over, and you see him actually just slide underneath Niram's bed.
Now just pulling the fucking Travolta from Pulp Fiction. Just like... what?
You all look down towards his room, and you see a long metal clawed hand that's currently attached to the door sill that just taps very gently and then goes back into the room.
You know what?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
well, it
going to
says-
take out my rapier and I'm going to just go in there guns blazing.
Naram's gonna come with you, the fucking still having his greatsword in his hands. He never got to put it down.
Zorm's going back to his room.
Well, it just means they're probably.
Clyde, you just draw your weapon, you're like, "Fuck this!" Much like Rowan did, and you just march your way down.
Zorm is just giving a very long sigh and going back to his room.
With how long this has been going on, it's now roughly about 2-ish, 30 in the morning.
He's
And as you all, you make your way over and you turn into it, and Clyde, you just start swinging. And immediately your rapier just starts hitting and slashing
No,
through.
no.
Oh,
We're not blindly attacking. No, we're gonna analyze the room.
okay, go ahead and make me a perception check.
We're gonna analyze
Naram's
the
gonna help you
room.
out with that, so...
Okay, so go ahead and do it at advantage.
While they're doing that, I'm just prepping
18.
a spell.
Okay. As you're looking around, you see currently placed against the small of the windowsill, against the opening that has been opened through these heavy shutters, you currently see laying there against one of them is a familiar little scarecrow effigy.
Oh my god. Clyde is going to take his. Hold on. Is there some sort of stick in the room?
Stick? I mean,
Is
you can get a
there
broom.
a-
You can get a broom.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna take the broom and we're just gonna lightly, like, tap the scarecrow looking thing
Go
off
over and
the side of
Yeah,
the
you
window, and
you-
we're gonna shut it.
you tap it over, and you watch it You don't hear it hit the ground. And then you just shut the door and lock it up.
Yep. No, hold on. Before we lock the thing, we're going to toss the broom out as well.
So you knock it over and throw the broom out and
Yep.
lock it shut. And as you lock it shut and hope to whatever god you pray to that this effigy has disappeared for good, we'll go ahead and end tonight's game there.
I was half
like how you
expecting
guys
just
don't even-
we turn around and the effigy's
And it-
right
yep.
there.
I was kind of hoping like you guys would try, like one of you would go get Zorm, so that way like the scarecrow could be at least identified.
Nah.
No.
Nah, Clyde and Naren just go and like, we took care of it.
Well, here's the thing. Clyde is the person who found the first scarecrow effigy in the cart in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is that what it looked like, Grape? Is that what the scarecrow looked like?
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm glad I shoved it out the window then.
Yes, it had 2 arms, 2 legs. They were very spindly, made of little twins, or almost like twigs and twins of bits of metal and wooden sinew. And the torso and face were covered in almost a shroud of burlaps and mixtures of cloth.
Yeah, again, I'm glad I shoved it out the window and then gave it a broom as a weapon.
For you. 3, 4, better lock your door.
All right. So, one moment.
I just feel bad for the tavern people.
Yeah, same. We must have caused the fucking biggest ruckus.
They don't know they ain't a problem.
All right. So as we go ahead and end our game tonight for our beloved and intrepid adventuring party, we'll go ahead and say I hope you guys enjoyed. But first, I need to go ahead and talk to our beautiful viewers on Twitch.
Do you though?
Hey there. Yeah, I think I do. Hello there, everyone. I was wondering just if you enjoyed yourselves along with our little group of adventurers. I know we didn't have too much happen until just about the end of the session, but hey, Dungeons and Dragons, right? Anyway, I do apologize for the background noise I have to contend with, but other than that, I will say thank you very much for coming by and watching our little escapade into insanity. If you did find yourself actually enjoying it with us, you could go ahead and maybe follow us. Behemoth could use the follow. I'm not asking for you to give anything to him. You should, but maybe. But we'll go ahead and say if you really enjoyed it, perhaps a subscription. I'm not sure, but I need to beg. It's the only thing I can do. But I will go ahead and say if you have any questions regarding the schedule for Dungeons & Dragons or any other stream that we do, you can go ahead and find our little link to the Discord, if Behemoth can throw that.
Yeah, sure, give me a sec. Oh god, fucking typing is just not a thing I can do anymore.
That's alright. And if you have anything to wonder about just what happened to our earlier sessions, you can actually go ahead and take a look at our YouTube channel, which can be thrown up there as well. Again, we do apologize that we were not able to interact with you guys as much as we would love to. You are beautiful people and beautiful watchers as you spectate our little game that's going on, and we appreciate everyone who comes by. But as I go ahead and say au revoir, or goodbye, I will go ahead and hand it off to Behemoth and allow him to go ahead and just strike out what you guys want to know and what's going on. Ciao.
Thank you very much. So, I would like to, again, thank everyone who joined the stream, followed, subscribed. Today, I'd like to thank AndyManPerson13 for following, because I wasn't able to go on, go and thank you earlier. Also, thank you very much, Dan, for the resub. Sorry that the alerts are still muted. I keep them muted for D&D just so they don't distract from what's going on. Sometimes it's already hard enough to listen to what people are saying because everyone's talking over each other, and so I thought that just for comprehension's sake, the alerts should be muted for this. Anyways, hopefully nothing stands in the way of next week's game happening during at the same time. Today we had a slight bit of issues due to logistical problems. But anyways, thank you very much and have a nice rest of your day.